What's up you guys, it's Cody, and today I'm going to be showing you how to build a home recording studio on a budget. Now whether you're a musician who wants to demo your own songs, or you're looking to become a producer and record other people's music, I think now is such a great time to start working on that. And it's becoming pretty expensive to do. Nowadays, to start recording music at home, the startup cost is actually quite low, and there's been so many great advances in recording technology that it makes it easier than ever to start your own home studio. So today I'm going to break down a few different pieces of gear that you need to get started, and by the end of it all, you'll have all the tools you need to start your own home studio. When I started out, I knew absolutely nothing about recording gear, so I had to go through all the trial and errors of figuring out exactly what I liked and what worked for my situation. So hopefully by the end of this all, you're going to bypass a few years of learning and know exactly what you need to get started today. So the first and most important thing you're going to have to do is smash the subscribe button down below so that you don't miss out on any more of my great videos. So really quickly, I just want to break down how sound gets from your voice or from an instrument into your computer. So the sound is going to get picked up by your microphone, go through a cable called an XLR, and into your audio interface. Now the audio interface takes the analog signal from the microphone and converts it into a digital signal that your computer is going to be able to read. The audio interface is then going to send out that signal through a USB cable into your computer and into a program, which we call a DAW, or digital audio workstation. And that's the basics of how exactly sound goes from your instrument into your computer. So let's take a look at what you need. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is a computer. Now a lot of people think that you're going to need some fancy, brand new, high quality computer to run all of your audio stuff, but you really don't. Whatever computer you have at home, whether it's a laptop or a desktop, is going to do the trick. I actually do most of my work from an older 2011 MacBook Pro. Now it was the top of the line back in the day, but it's just about 10 years old now. And with how fast computer technology advances, it's just about obsolete. However, it still does the trick for majority of what I need to do. If I'm just trying to demo out some songs or working on a smaller session, it does the trick and does exactly what I need it to. So don't go thinking you need to spend a couple $1,000s on a computer, because you absolutely don't. Whatever you have is gonna work just fine. From there, you're gonna need a music program for your computer, a DAW like I mentioned. Now if you have a Mac computer, you probably already have GarageBand installed with it. And GarageBand is absolutely fantastic. It's kind of a budget version of Logic Pro, which is a more expensive program, but it absolutely does the trick for all of your basic recording needs. GarageBand has some really cool built-in instruments and will allow you to do everything that you need to do in order to make a song sound decent. Now if you don't have a Mac and you don't have GarageBand built in, another really great program is Reaper. Now Reaper is a little more comprehensive and it does have a steeper learning curve to it, but I know there's a ton of music industry professionals who use and absolutely love Reaper. Now Reaper isn't technically free, they only give a 60-day trial, however they don't cancel use after that 60-day trial, so basically you can use it for free if you want to. I personally don't use Reaper, but there are so many customizable options with it, it's such a great option for anybody who's looking to get into recording. Now my last and favorite from the list is Pro Tools First. I'm a Pro Tools user, I run Pro Tools 12 currently, and Pro Tools is kind of regarded as the industry standard when it comes to recording. If you go into any big budget, high quality studio, you're probably gonna see that they're working on Pro Tools. Now Pro Tools is just another program, it's just like all the others, and it's not better by any means. However, it's just what most industry professionals use, so that's why it's considered the industry standard. Now the great thing about Pro Tools First is it's completely free. It's gonna give you a great intro into Pro Tools in case you ever wanna upgrade in the future. Pro Tools will allow you to demo out your song, mix it, and come up with a good quality product at the end of the day. So if you're brand new to recording and you're looking to get started, I'd highly recommend Pro Tools First. I think it's a great introduction to it, and there's so much room you can upgrade in the future if you want, and it's going to be awesome for you to learn how to use Pro Tools as you go. The biggest thing about any DAW is the learning curve. I find that once you learn something, you're best to just stick with it. There's no sense changing over and over and having to relearn a program every time. So I think just pick one and commit with it. That's why I think Pro Tools is a great option. If you ever want to grow your skills and maybe become a music producer professionally, Pro Tools is the standard. It's what everybody uses, so it's probably a wise idea if you're just starting to learn with that. So the next thing you're gonna need is an audio interface. Once again, the audio interface is what takes your signal and converts it into a file that the computer can read. Now, before you decide on an audio interface, you're going to want to think about exactly what you're going to be recording. Different audio interfaces allow a different amount of mics to be plugged into it. So if you're only going to be recording you singing, then you're only going to need one input. If you're going to be recording maybe a guitar and sing at the same time, you're probably going to want 2 inputs. And if you're going to be recording a drum kit, you're probably going to need upwards of 8 inputs, if not more. So if you are thinking you're just going to use this to record some vocals or maybe just a guitar here and there, the interface I'd recommend is the Behringer Euphoria. Now this allows for one microphone to be plugged in along with one guitar cable, so you could record an electric guitar and your vocal at the same time if you needed to. Now the Behringer Euphoria is only about $50, and that's the cheapest audio interface I could find. So if you think that would fit your needs, I'd highly recommend going for that one. But keep in mind, you're only gonna be able to use one microphone at a time. Now, I just wanna let you know, all prices that I'm mentioning are in Canadian dollars. I've found that most of my audience tends to be Canadian, but I'm really curious. Just let me know in the comments below, what country are you watching from? Are you from Canada? Are you in the US? Are you in the UK? Let me know, just so I have a better idea for the future. So if you think only having one microphone isn't quite gonna be enough and you might wanna have two mics going at a time, I'd recommend the PreSonus Audio Box. Not only does this allow two microphones to be plugged in at once, but it also has a MIDI in and out port. So if you ever wanted to connect a keyboard or a drum pad, you'd be able to do that by using the MIDI port. Now this one is about double the price at $100, but not only do you get twice as many inputs, but PreSonus also has really good sounding preamps for the price. You're not gonna get a ton of unnecessary noise when you're recording, and the quality's gonna be a little bit better than that Behringer unit. Now, if you wanna record something like drums where you're gonna have more than just one mic or two mics going at a time, I'd recommend the Roland Octocapture. Now, this is about $500, but it's gonna give you 8 inputs along with 8 outputs and MIDI. Now, I have the Roland Studio Capture, which is 12 inputs, so it's a little bit bigger, but it's essentially the same unit. Not only does this sound amazing, but it also has some cool built-in effects. There's built-in compressors on every channel, and you can do monitor mixes directly from the interface itself. So this makes it really great if you're trying to direct monitor as you're recording without any latency. Again, $500 is a bit on the pricier side when we're looking at budget items, but a unit like this is gonna last you a long time. Now, I would only recommend going to a unit like this if you are gonna need multiple inputs. At 10 times the price as that Behringer unit, I don't know if it's necessarily worth it. It does sound better, but I don't know if you're necessarily gonna get the best bang for your buck there. Alright, so after an audio interface, the next thing you're gonna need to get is a microphone. Now, there are so many microphones out there, it's hard to nail it down to just one. But there are two different types of microphones. There's dynamic microphones and condenser microphones. Now, generally, the broad thought is that dynamic microphones are used in live settings and condenser microphones are used in studio settings. Now, while this is a general guideline to follow, it's not true and you can use others in between. I will often use a dynamic microphone in studio recording bands. In the same way, I'll use a condenser microphone live to mic up a drum kit or something. Generally, a condenser microphone is a little more sensitive and is going to pick up a lot more of the ambience and surrounding sounds around, whereas a dynamic microphone is a little more focused and is going to only pick up whichever direction it's facing. So a really great option and something you might already have lying around is a Shure SM58 or a Shure SM57. Now, I happen to have just a few of these laying around myself, and these are actually the very first microphones that I bought. If this is something you already have, I think this is a great starting point. I picked up my SM57s for about $50 used, and they have been one of my most used microphones. These are often used on electric guitar amps, drum kits like a snare drum. I've used 2 of them to record an acoustic guitar before, and I've even seen people use them for vocals. Now, the SM57 is a great all-around mic. It's super durable, you don't have to worry about it breaking ever, and it's going to be something that you will use for the rest of your life. Now, new, they are a little more expensive. They sell for about $130, but I'd highly recommend looking for this one used or maybe seeing if someone you know has one. Like I said, they're so common, and whether it's an SM57 or an SM58, they both sound fairly similar and they're both going to do the same job. Now, if you are looking for a little more conventional studio microphone, something that's going to sound really good on the voice and on an acoustic guitar, I'd recommend the Behringer C1. Now, I've seen this mic sell from anywhere from $50 to $80, so it's very affordable. Microphones can range from hundreds of dollars to tens of thousands of dollars, believe it or not. And although the Behringer C1 isn't the greatest sounding mic out there, for $50 you cannot go wrong. When you're going through the process of learning how to record and how to mix, the microphone isn't necessarily going to make the biggest difference in the world right off the bat. This microphone will do the trick for a year or maybe even 2 years, who knows, maybe 5 or 10 years down the road, there will be something that you really like about this microphone, and you'll just think, hey, why don't I use the Behringer C1? Now, don't get me wrong, this is probably something that you will outgrow, but for the price point, I don't think you can go wrong, and I think it's a really great starting place. Now, if you are looking to spend a little bit more money and up the quality a little bit, the microphone I'd recommend is the Rode NT1A. Now, this mic sells for about $300, so it is a little bit pricey, but the Rode NT1A is a staple when it comes to any mic locker. This microphone sounds really good on acoustic guitar and vocals, and I think that's what's suited for most people's needs. If you want a microphone that you're still going to use 5 or 10 years from now, I'd recommend the Rode NT1A. Now, the next thing we're going to need is some way to listen back to what we've recorded. A lot of people think the way to go about this is studio monitors, but I don't think that's necessarily the right choice. Studio monitors are quite expensive, and depending on the room you're in, they're going to sound different different and they're not always the greatest option. What I would recommend buying first is a good set of headphones. The nice thing about headphones is no matter where you go in the world, it's always going to sound the same. Whether you're on a bus or an airplane or at your friend's house, you're always going to be able to reference your headphones and know exactly what something sounds like. A good intro set of headphones are the AKG K72s. Now these sell for about $70 and they sound really, really good. They do feel a little cheap and a little flimsy, but for the price, I don't think you can go wrong. Headphones are something I'm never too worried about investing in because whether I'm recording myself or I'm recording somebody else, we're going to need multiple sets of headphones. So there's nothing wrong with buying a cheaper set of headphones to start and then upgrading as you go. If you are looking for something a little more high quality and a little more industry standard, I'd recommend the Sennheiser HD 280s. Now these sell for about $130, but they're really comfortable on the head and they sound great. I've been in multiple studios where they have several pairs of these and it's because they sound great. They're really natural sounding and they're not going to mislead how something sounds. The biggest thing about headphones is learning how they sound. Like I said, no matter where you are in the world, you're going to have those headphones and they're going to sound the exact same in whatever room you're in. So it's important that you take the time to listen to some of your favorite songs and really listen to the way that those headphones sound. That way, when you go back and you're trying to mix your music, you'll have a reference as to what it should sound like. Now, if you are looking for some headphones that are a little more high quality, what I'd recommend is the Beyerdynamic DT990 Pros. I have a pair myself and these are the best headphones I have ever owned. They're so comfy and they sound amazing. These are seriously probably the best sounding headphones I've ever wore. They have this nice little shade carpet on them and I'm seriously in love with these headphones. I can't even explain how much I like them. If you want to see me do a review on why I love these headphones so much, drop a comment down below. I would absolutely love to talk about these for 20 minutes. Now when it comes to your headphones, what you have at home already will work. Whether it's just some Apple headphones or maybe you have some Beats, they will do the trick. They're not going to give you the most accurate sound, but like I said, with headphones, it all comes down to learning them and knowing what they sound like. If you can't afford headphones right now, don't worry about it. Just use what you have and it will do the trick for now. So last few things that you're going to need to get your home studio all set up is just a few accessories. You're going to need a microphone stand so that you can set up your mic and you don't have to hold it the whole time. You can get a microphone stand for about $20 or $30 off of Amazon. When I first started out, I just bought a pile of microphone stands used. I think I got 10 of them at like $5 each. So go ahead and check it out online. There might be something good you can find. Next thing we're going to need is a microphone cable. This is called an XLR. You can get one of these on Amazon for about $10. But once again, I got all of mine used online for about $5 each. I did have to buy 20 of them, but I needed a ton of microphone cables anyways, so do some shopping, but $10 off Amazon isn't too bad. Now the last thing you're gonna wanna pick up if you are gonna be recording vocals is a pop filter. Now what this does is it blocks all the plosives, all the B's and P's and S and T's, and it creates any air from going into your microphone. This is essential if you wanna have good quality recordings. Once the air hits the microphone, there's no way of fixing that or taking it out. So you can get one of these on Amazon for about $10. Don't buy this used, get a new one. People get their faces all up in this and you don't want that. So go buy a new one, they're only $10. All right, so we got a microphone, we got some cables to get that sound to our audio interface, we got a program on our computer, and we got some headphones to listen back. That's all we're gonna need to get started with our home studio. So I'm curious, what of these items do you think you're gonna pick up for your home studio? Drop a comment down below and let me know. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you did find this video helpful, please drop a like down below. It seriously helps out my channel more than you know. And as always, don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any more of my great videos. I'm gonna get back to my coffee. Y'all have a great day.